Hey family, Dad here. Hope you're having a great day. Today I wanted to discuss, is it weird that my job isn't part of my identity? So my first two jobs after college, I really bled for the company. I was very loyal. I put in the effort, kissed butt. I played the political game in the corporate world. And then after my first layoff, it was very emotional. It was tough. I didn't know what to think. I was frozen. Part of my identity has been shattered. And for a lot of people, a job is a huge part of their identity. And that was me at the beginning of my working career. Again, I was loyal. I listened to leadership. I drank the Kool-Aid. But over time, and I've been laid off 4 times during my working career. At this point in my working career, I truly believe, you don't have to be loyal to any company, and no company is loyal to you. Gone is the times where you work for one company for 30, 40 years, and then you retire off into the sunset, collect a pension, and then eventually Social Security. I'm at the stage in my life where it's business now. It's a business partnership between you and the company that you work for. You can leave at will. The company can let you go at will. And that's what's happened in my past jobs. Like I said, I've been laid off 4 times, and I've left jobs multiple times as well for greener pastures per se. And some of them didn't work, some of them did work, but overall it was a mutually beneficial partnership. Now, when it comes to part of my identity, who I am, I definitely don't talk about my job because I truly believe my job is not part of my identity. I don't love my job because the job doesn't love you back. If you really love a job, you do it for free, and I'm not willing to do it for free. If your job came up to you and said, hey, I know how much you love the job and how loyal you are to the company. We're going through some tough times. Would you be willing to take a 25% pay cut because you love the company so much? Would you take that? Now, the obvious answer would be no. Absolutely. For me, no, not at all. But there are some people who are still loyal and would bleed for the company. And that's okay. But I think sooner or later they'll realize that that doesn't work out in the end. So when people ask me, who am I first of all tell them I'm a father to 2 amazing kids who are now adults now. And I kind of go down a deep dive into my 2 kids. I also have a love of my life, my girlfriend, who I've been with for several years now. I have a huge interest in health and wellness, and I really go deep into that. I love to work out. I love doing cold baths, different variety of workouts. I'm really into that, and that's something I love to go down and talk about forever. And I also talk about new things that I've done in my life. Like I started drinking coffee within the last year. I did cold baths. I've been doing cold baths for 2 years. And how my life is evolving now with 2 adult kids that are slowly leaving the nest. So those are the things I talk about. That's part of my identity. I don't talk about my job. Now, if people ask me what I do, that's something I will share with them. But again, change happens so much. I've been through 9 jobs in my working career, 7 jobs in my 40s. And part of it is just change happens so much. It's harder to adjust, to adapt when someone else makes the change for you, such as a company. They let you know you're being laid off versus you just leaving and taking another job. So overall, I don't really talk about my job that much unless someone asks me, because part of it is just my job changes every time. Like I said, I've had 7 jobs in my 40s. Who knows what's going to happen in my 50s? In the meantime, yeah, that's who I am. So tell me your thoughts. Is your job part of your identity? When people ask you who you are, do you talk about part of your job? Comment, like, subscribe. I would definitely appreciate it. So that's all I got. You all have a great day.